Okay, hello. Boy, I'm going to call this video Silver Streak. Okay, now, I've the caveat to this, number one, I've got a bunch of number jumps in here. These are in no particular order. We're going to be jumping all over the place, so it's going to probably be a little bit difficult to follow some of this, but this video is extremely interesting. The connections in this video are just mental. Before we really get into it, you might want to set the speed up on this for 1.5 times to get through it quicker. This also, part of that caveat is I'm not going to make every single little connection back to previous videos. There won't be enough time. I want to try and get this done in under half an hour. And then, what was the other thing I wanted to mention here? Yeah, so some of these, like you see all these number jumps, I have lost several number jumps. The computer shut down, and then I lost a whole bunch of number jumps, and then because I don't write every single thing down on a piece of paper. Anyway, I've put up the ones that I could remember. So there's a whole bunch of stuff missing, and there was a whole bunch that I didn't even bother looking at. Okay, because there was just so much to get through with this stuff, and that's such a big decode. And to try and knock it out real quick, to be quite honest, I got this lot put in, and I'm like, that'll be enough. In fact, it's too much already. Okay, so let's kick this off. Here is the Silva here being destroyed. This is the car, the Silva being destroyed. So the car crash. Again, with people like Diana dying in the car crash, 8/31, and obviously the date we've been looking at for potential Hoover Dam collapse, maybe World War III starting, has been the 1st of September, yeah, St. Giles's Day, okay, Labour Day, okay, the idea of giving birth, yeah, the idea of the system starting over again, that's the rebirth, okay. Anyway, boy, oh boy, there's so much to get through. Okay, so this thing, tying back with Madonna now, and what we're going to look at is we're going to look at the tie-ins with Madonna's potential death, because Madonna's potential death is an indicator of this 9/1 date. The 9/1 date that's coming up ties back into what I think could be the potential death date for Madonna on the 20th of August, coming up here in about, I don't know, less than a week now. So anyway, the destruction of the Silver Streak represents the destruction of Madonna, represents the destruction of the system right now, the corrupted system, okay? What did Marty and Doc do with this thing? They used it and abused it, basically. They didn't really think about the consequences of their actions before they went ahead and did things, okay? Anyway, what I want to tie this into is this Silver Streak. We're going to tie back with a bunch of connections, but we're going to come back to this guy here first. I haven't even, this is really the first time I've sat down was yesterday when I started putting this video together, or was it the day before? It's not been very long now anyway, with Diogo Jota, okay, and I don't really know how to say his name properly, so I'm just going to call him DJ for the rest of the Diogo. Maybe I'll just call him Diogo for the rest of the video. But anyway, I had been listening to a decoding with Cody and the eye to eye thing where Rambo's on, and Rambo keeps bringing up this guy, and he keeps mentioning Liverpool and so forth and so on. Now remember, when we did the Aussie decode, yeah, Aussie decodes with the reverse alphabet letter match with the reverse alphabet. Aussie converts over to bull, Bale, B-A-A-L, okay? And we had the decoding Back to the Future with the license plate on the yellow Honda, which tied back in with Peyton Manning and football, and on that number plate as well with that reverse alphabet match up with the letters, that was foot. Okay, and we had the tie-in with Peyton Manning and Ozzy. Then we had the tie-in with the foot on the thing on the number plate, tying in with the ball or the bale, the ball of Ozzy as well. So we had the football tie-in, super important. Aston Villa, where he had his last gig. Okay, and now we're at Liverpool. Now, Liverpool's famous for so many things. The football team itself, the Beatles, all this kind of stuff. Another famous thing out of Liverpool, which I talked about the symbolism with this before, is Titanic. Now, the company was based that ran Titanic was based out of Liverpool. Okay, so even though the Titanic left from Southampton, the connection there is that it'd been on the stern of the ship was written Liverpool. Okay, so Liverpool was written on the Titanic. Okay, super duper important stuff. Super duper important with the actual shape of the ship, representing the Hoover Dam, representing the clock tower. Note that it set sail on 4:10. Yeah, the clock tower numbers when the clock stops. So all interesting stuff. But anyway, let's get into this dude. So this is the Liverpool connection. Now, the first thing, before I forget to mention it, the shirt he wears is number 20, and we're looking at him tying in with Madonna and this 20, the 20th of August connection. Now, what is important to note is that the 20 is the metaphysical gateway in my decode chart for the chart of Lorraine. When we look at where the clock tower sits on that chart, number 20 is that doorway, is the gateway into the metaphysical. So the number 20 by itself is super important. Now, this guy, why do I bring Silver Streak? Now, note that his real name, even though he goes by Diogo Jota, is Diogo Silva. Okay, so he has this Silva in his surname. Now, again, Madonna's family name, her father's name is, I'm pretty sure, is Silvio. Okay, and again, the surname is the father's name, essentially, is the way that works. Anyway, so this connection back to the father, and the connection now is what I want to make with this dude, is the fact that when he dies with his brother. Okay, so there's this twinism thing going on with his brother, and there's one other thing that's going on that's super interesting that we've been talking about, which is the white wedding. This guy dies 11 days after his white wedding. 11. Okay, so we're going to get into some twinism stuff with him and his brother. Okay, his brother's name is Andre Silva. I think I've got him in here somewhere. We're going to look at some of the connections with back to 9/11 and the idea of these two being like the 9/11 sacrifice again, and coming up to again another sacrifice, which is the dam. Okay, which is a connection with Madonna. Yeah, Madonna backwards. The first three letters of Madonna, Mad, goes to Damn. Okay, so let's look at the club first. Let's look at Liverpool. Okay, so I caught a little bit of decoding with coding when they were talking about this, and they were talking about the liver bird, and I think I put in the comments on that video, I said it looks like a phoenix, and then subsequently, I think Rambo did mention the idea of the phoenix here as well. We've got the flames, yeah. This to me is the phoenix. We've got the two towers on fire here, the two torches, okay, like the fire trails, the two tracks on fire, the phoenix, the flames, the shield that literally nearly every football team I think has. Most of them have this shield type stuff. The shield is, this is the dam, okay? This is important. This is the dam, right? We've talked about that reference again with like the shield that's on the penny and things like that as well, you know. Notice they're called the reds as well, because we'll come on to, you know, what the Hoover Dam is blocking is the Red River, the Colorado River, the River of Blood, if you like, is blocked there, and we're going to have that scene where the elevator door, the elevator here, which is, this is the elevator, the levee, is going to break, and we're going to have that scene from The Shining with the River of Blood flowing again. Okay, and the River of Blood obviously represents the completion of a cycle in the female anatomical sense, and also to do with birth as well. Okay. What else I want to say? Okay, so just look at this. Now, let's just go to his brother's team. Okay, check this out. Look at this again with the shield, the crown. Okay, but look at the bird symbolism on here. Yeah, the phoenix symbolism. Super duper important here. Yeah, these are the red and blacks. Okay. Okay, and now I want to just note the founding date of this particular club as well. February the 8th, 1951. February the 8th. So this is 8-2 numerology here. Very nice. Okay, and this idea of the phoenix from the flames, a resurrection, a rebirth idea. Yeah, starting over. Now, as I go through some of these number jumps, we will, and some of these other connections, it's going to be a bit all over the place from this point on. But before we get onto that, so this actual crash happened on the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. Yeah, just showing you the DeLorean smashed up there. Okay, so on the 40th anniversary of the original Back to the Future, this crash happened. Okay, now the actual car itself was a Lamborghini. Now, Lamborghini is a reference to the bull, okay? I actually have we might get to the logo here in a little bit, and the particular car was this sort of lime greeny coloured, very, you know, this is symbolizing the Matrix here, okay? Or being in the Matrix. And I guess the sacrifice you have to make when you come out of the Matrix is that pair of twins has to be destroyed. The corrupted pair of twins has to be essentially sacrificed in order to restart again. Okay, so this is interesting with the car and them in the, you know, the brothers in the car crashing, burning as well. And the name of the car, I don't know if they mentioned this in on Decoding with Cody and with, anyway, I don't know if they mentioned the name of the car, but it's a Huracan, okay, and that relates back to bullfighting, okay. I think I've got it in here somewhere. Here we go. Meaning, I'm not sure if they mentioned this when they talked about this guy, or Rambo mentioned it. I'm not sure. Well, anyway. But here we go. Known for, yeah, it's car's name also pays homage to Spanish fighting bull named Huracan, okay, for its courage and aggressive nature. Now, what we're going to tie this back into is a Madonna, another Madonna thing, which is this song, Take a Bow. Like, you know, take a bow, like the idea of the end of the act is over and you're taking a bow, it's the end of something. And this has got a ton of symbolism in it. I've talked about this several times before. One of the big things in this video is that at one point they have this doorway with a 19, a 19 on it. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'm not really gonna tie back into this too much, but this video is there. We've got onto it. There's the doorway. Yeah, World War III, maybe the Hoover Dam, and what this is all about is a 25 showing up in here. This will be, we might talk, we've got some stuff with the 25 that I'll show you in a minute as well. And I've showed some other stuff with 25. Again, Diana's train length on her wedding dress was 25 feet long. This is all about bullfighting, okay? If we get to a scene with the actual bull, there's a thumb reference in there for Bye Bye Miss America Pie. There was the arse end of the bull there. Okay, there he is in the ring, the bull ring, yeah. And don't forget, you know, he is fighting the bull. Okay, what is interesting is the phonetics of B-U-L-L and B-A-L-L. Okay, and then the connection obviously with B-A-A-L to the actual bull symbolism as well, the B-U-L-L. Okay, so you see what I'm saying here? Bull sounds like bull, the connection with football, being in the arena playing football, and this dude here is using footwork to outsmart the bull. Okay, you know, I mean, it's just, here he is. Okay, yeah, the Lamborghini Huracan. Okay, now so this, we'll look at some number jumps with this, the release of this. It all ties together. Hopefully all my number jumps will stay up. Like I said, the computer, I lost a bunch of them, and then a bunch more I started clicking on, and they just kept disappearing. So I don't know what the hell is going on with the computer right now, but I'm hoping that will stay. A couple of other things I want to mention before we get off of the idea of Silver Streak, and we're going to look at a little bit more with another crash. There was actually a similar crash that took place with this particular vehicle that we'll look at a date for that as well, that was in the news, and the same colour vehicle as well. And we're going to look at the connection with, we'll probably look at the connection back to funeral rites, because there's obviously a couple of little connections here with funeral rites again, that Madonna video. What else do I want to show you? This is the other thing that I wanted to show you. Two more things with the Silver Streak reference. There is another train film called Silver Streak. Now, I'm only bringing this up just because of all these connections to silver. Note the 4E70 on the train here that is going to crash through the station in this film. Yeah. Hopefully you've been watching my other videos. If you're completely fresh here, you're probably like, why does this guy keep bringing up train? Well, train matches with Madonna in the gematria. So 26, 62, 37 matches with the name train, matches with the name Madonna, with the 26, 62, 37 as well. Hopefully I'm saying those numbers right. Felt like I just said one of them wrong. But anyway, this 47, yeah, with the Silver Streak train here crashing, okay, in the film Silver Streak, okay. Let's just take a step back with this 47 stuff and why this is so important with silver. Oh, I got to add it up here. This is what's going to become painful about it all. Is we got to remember the atomic number for silver, okay, is 47. Super duper important. Now remember, the silver represents the moon, yeah, the gold the sun, okay. Again, we've got to be careful about the context of how those things are being portrayed, you know, because again, the bull is the divine feminine. Well, not really the bull, the cow, but that bull symbolism, at least the, you know, the top of the horns with the cow and the head forms that womb symbolism, the shape of the womb. And there's a lot of other stuff also that connects back with the idea of the divine feminine connecting back to the holy cow. Okay, but again, we've got to be careful about when we're looking at red. We just got to be careful about the context and what's being said about the symbolism, because of course you can then start looking at the bull as a negative thing, depending on the color of it. You could also look at the oh dear, what was I thinking of? The bull as it can be. You can look at the symbolism of the cow or the bull in depending on the context. We can look at it as a negative or a positive thing. Okay, I'll just leave it at that for right now. But anyway, 47 AG Silva. Notice the 107.87 as well here. Okay, that's going to be important as well because of course the 187 is super duper important with Madonna, with Sean Penn's birthday, and also the idea of the 187 murder death kill number as well. Anyway, which is referenced several times in Demolition Man, and Demolition Man has that funny little riddle of the 3 seashells. That is obviously a connection back with Diana and her coat of arms, which is 3, seashell type scallop shell things. Okay, it's again a reference back to the toilet. Okay, the throne, the toilet, and what the Hoover Dam is. This big waterworks system, the toilet, and again a connection back with SHIT, Sirius SHIT. Okay. Now I'm going at 100 miles an hour here as fast as I can. So this crash with his brother, the twinism stuff. We're going to touch on a few of those number jumps that will encode some of that now. We're going to talk about this other film, Silver Streak, and the other Silver Streak. Now, let's tie all this together with the Silver Streak real quick, is this gal here. Tulsi Gabbard, okay? With the Silver Streak, the Cruella. Now, if you recall, I was talking about funeral rites. We've actually stopped at a good point here, but let's go in funeral rites here. Let's show you. Madonna's got this Cruella outfit on. Okay, so there's a connection to Cruella de Vil. Obviously, that connects to 101, which connects to both Hoover Dam with the 101, Gematria, and also ties back with the Golden Gate Bridge with the 101 that goes across the Golden Gate Bridge, okay, the road. So anyway, so she's got this Cruella thing going on, and then we have this connection to Tulsi Gabbard that we've talked about before, and the big connection with Tulsi Gabbard as well is her 4/12 birthday, 1981, but the 4/12 is the release date of Desperately Seeking Susan, and the Desperately Seeking Susan stuff was all the Magic Johnson connection with the 666 and everything. I mean, I haven't got time to go into that again now, but she's been very, this has been important, and this whole thing with this, just crazy, isn't it? This is just crazy. The Silver Streak, yeah, the Cruella. Remember, we might have that number jump still in here. She has the number jump that connects back to the film Cruella as well, so it all ties together quite nicely with the Cruella de Vil, 101 Dalmatians, firefighters, all this stuff. Anyway, we'll start going through these number jumps here pretty quick. I think I've done most of the symbolism, but the Silver Streak, of course, is the train as well in this film that we're going to look at in a minute, because I've got an interesting little spot in there that I want to show you as well. Should we start doing number jumps? I think so. Okay. Note with Diogo, we've got Tulsi Gabbard's got the 412 or 124, the same as the Queen with the 214 birthday, and he has 12-4, 124 again. 124 numerology. These birthdays are all essentially, you can even read them depending on which country, which way around you want to read the date, but you can read them all as the same, yeah, which is pretty interesting without them being completely jumbled. So let's start going through some number jumps, I guess. I got a lot of different number jumps, and so now that you've got all that stuff in the back of your mind, let me just double check one more time that we can actually go through some of this stuff. So again, let's just go back to this film real quick. This train has got to the end of the line, which happens to be in Chicago, and is crashing through the station here, just as in Back to the Future, the train goes off the cliff, right before the DeLorean gets smashed there. I wish I had that up here. I thought I did. It must be here somewhere. Here it is. Just as this train crash as well that I talked about with Madonna before, and this idea of this train comes through the station as well, crashes down onto the pavement, just like it's coming off the edge of the cliff, the steam train. So we've talked about this one before as well, and we're going to do some number jumps with this, and the idea that it connects back with this as well, and Madonna and all the rest of it. So if I don't get back to this, I want to just show you a spot in here, because this is the Silver Streak. Okay, now this is a mirror here, and the train's coming up to that mirror. Let me just press play real quick so you can see what happens. We've got the 4070 on the train here, and it's crashing through the mirror. So we have two 4070s. Okay, let me take those numbers and just write them out. So we have two. There's one. We have two lots of 4070. Okay. This is the number jump from Madonna's birthday to 820. Okay, and this is coming up to the mirror. The mirror is that point. You know, all these palindromic numbers we've been seeing. Yeah, this is the point of balance here. And then there's the idea of being trapped within the matrix and breaking back through that mirror, getting back out of the matrix is the same as breaking the dam down. Okay, so this, I just thought this was interesting with the 2-4, the silver stuff going on, the 47. Donald Trump, the 47 right now. Okay. Right, let's get on to some number jumps so we can get this thing done. A super ton to show you here, actually. Okay. Oh, blooming hell. Okay, this first number jump, what is this one? This is, so, while I'm on that film, let me show you this. This is Desperately Seeking Susan through to Train Spot in the film. The release of Train Spotting is 3970. Okay, 3970 days. Okay, now in this film, we're going to see, this is absolutely nuts. We're going to see this car over here, this yellow car, again, the idea of the car. Hang on, let me back it up. We want to see this number plate on here. This is absolutely crazy. The connection to Train Spotting. Hang on, right here. Look at this. It's got the PP on the back of it for the double pi reference, which is 9-1 coming up. But it's got 3907 on the back of this thing. Okay, so anyway, when we looked at this, we've looked at this number jump before. That number comes out to the 78 prime number. Okay, and what is important about 78 is this is the release date of Who's That Girl. Okay. The 7th of August, 87. It's all about the 7/8s, okay? And again, I don't think I have it up here, but in Desperately Seeking Susan, there is the scene in front of the train, okay, where she outruns the train. And I'll show you that train in just a second for new people because it's really interesting. But the 259, remember we were talking about that with Rocco Ritchie? That also ties into his gematria. Let me just show you that. His full name, Rocco John Ritchie, is a 259 as well, with the 88 in it and the 92 in it. Yeah, for the white wedding number. Okay, so that was important. Let me just show you the reason why. What I had, I do have it up here. This is that same scene. Just a few seconds later on, you know, the same train is in Back to the Future smashing the DeLorean, and she's outrunning the train in the Rolls Royce. You know, that Marty is later going to hit or not hit. Okay, super important with the reference to who is that girl? Who? The Hoover Dam. Okay. Anyway, kind of losing my way here. That number showing up in this other Silver Streak film with the 47, just absolutely crazy. What's this number here? This is Train Spotting. Was that Train Spotting? Okay, that was train. This is Train Spotting again through to um, Diogo's birthday. Okay, now it's the 286. Click it. 11 tetrahedral. Okay, because we were talking about, you know, this twinism with his brother dying together. The twins, they weren't twins, but the idea of the 9/11 with it. Let me show you something with his birthday again here, and now Madonna's son's birthday, Rocco. It's 1347. Doesn't look like it means anything in particular right there, but the 47 that's in here is that this number actually. Let me show you. Actually, let's just go to the chart of Lorraine because this will be quicker. Let's just concern ourselves with Lucas' sequence first, okay? Here is this set of numbers, okay? Now, you know, we've got a 2 one side and an 11 the other side, yeah? The twins again, yeah? Super interesting. And obviously, Rocco Rich's birthday ties into, you know, 11/18. 118 is his birthday, yeah? The 11th of August. So the numerology is there. So it's just interesting the way these numbers come up. And again, this reference back to Lucas numbers, which is so tied in with the 47, yeah? You know, it's got these two 47s either side of this stuff. Yeah, this is the important stuff, and this is the white wedding here on this, you know, in the 7 column. We'll come back onto this. I've got the version up with the purple in, because I'm going to show you something here in just a second as well with that. So let's undo all that crud off of there, and we'll come back to that in just 1 second, okay? So this is, you know, again, this idea of the start of the sequence again, and the twins, right? Here we go. Here's another number. This is his birthday again, DJ's birthday, through to 4/28/2000, which is his brother Andre's birthday. 1241. I'm like, you just can't write this stuff, right? 1241. It's 3 years, 146 days. We've got the pi at the start of this. What is also interesting about this is we've got the Donald Trump, yeah, DJ as well, with Diogo Jota and Donald John. 1241. Let me show you the 1241 in here. Yeah, this is to do with Donald Trump. Yeah, because when you put this 4 row in, now the new totals at the bottom here from the green changes to this purple total. The 47s are showing up in here again, the 27s, the 72s, really important stuff. 1241, yeah, is our new total in the bottom of the 11 again, the 11 column. Just mental. And by the way, 1214 is Washington's death date as well on the dollar bill. He is on the dollar bill. He's stuck in the mirror, yeah? On the dollar bill, that image is reversed from the original painting that they took that from, yeah? He's stuck in a mirror. Look at the frame around him. Yeah, the Alpha Omega frame is the mirror, right? Okay, so he's stuck in the matrix. He's stuck inside the mirror. He's got to be freed. The dam's got to be broken. The bottom of the necktie and the shoulders forms the dam, okay? So anyway, 1241. Okay, the 11 again, right? Super duper important. Super duper important as well with the start of this, you know, when you enter this row in is the 14, and this, we got the 1, 2, 2, 1, 12 stuff going on, okay? Super duper important. Right, let me show you something else. What else have I got in here? I'm trying to rattle through this as quickly as possible. So this is, again, this is Andre's birthday now, through to Rocco Ritchie. It's 105 days. What's so significant about 105 or maybe 106? But this is from 9/11 through to Christmas. Yeah, Rocco Ritchie being the son of the Madonna, the Virgin Mary. Okay, not the Virgin Mary anymore, the corrupted version of that. But 105 is the day jump from 9/11 through to Christmas. Super duper important. Okay, again, time back to 9/11, time back to the twins. Okay. What's this one? This is the release of Take a Bow. I'm pretty sure this is the release of Take a Bow. the song by Madonna that we were just looking at with the bull fighting, through to the bull crashing, the bull dying, essentially, 7-3. Okay, look at the number jump here, 11168. So the Twin Towers stuff, yeah, 111 days, tie in there with the three towers. Okay, and then of course Madonna's birthday on the end of this number. Super duper interesting. Okay, to have those tie. We've been getting quite a lot of numbers where it's got like something tying on one end of the number to someone else on the other end. Quite interesting. This one, this is Liverpool's founding date here, through to Madonna's birthday. Again, what is interesting about this is, okay, this isn't that interesting. I don't think there was anything with the click through. Oh yes, there is interesting. 26 again with the 62-26 with Madonna. Okay, and Train, and then this 91. Okay, which is our 1st of September day, Labour Day. But what was also interesting was the numerology that was showing up here with the 66, 74 days. Now remember, when we do her big number jump from her birth through to 820, it was I might actually have it up here now, but it was 67 years, 4 days. Okay, so it was the same bunch of numbers coming up. Have I got it here? Yeah, here it is. Okay, 67 years, 4 days. So the same numerology coming up. Liverpool through to her birthday. Okay, what else I got here? This is Liverpool through to 9/11. We want to look at that. Again, this is one of these tied in numbers here. Look at this. 39 and 3. So the 30th of September. So 39 is to do with the Hoover Dam. This is the birthday of the Hoover Dam, and this is 9/11. Absolutely nuts, tying into Liverpool again. And look at the numerology up here with the 109 years, 100 days. Yeah, the 1009 ties into Ozzy with Sharon Osbourne's birthday. It ties into Madonna with Guy Ritchie's birthday, the husband. Okay, and then we got the 191 numerology for this 1st of September stuff. You know, the mirrored pie date that's coming up. What's this one? This is the founding date of the other club that Andre plays for. Note that, remember, it was the 2-8. Okay, so we already got the 2-8 reference here. Look at this, 2747. Okay, so we've got to remember that the Madonna thing, and also with Hulk Hogan, had the same numbers with his death date, the 274. Madonna with the 274 numerology as well with her number jump. Yeah, with a 24477. Okay, now check this one out. This is the Montparnasse train crash, where the train comes down in Paris over the street, smashes into the, bottom there. Again, that 1022 matches up with Doc Christopher Lloyd's birthday as well. Look at this, 47420 days, yeah, through to her death. Now let's look at another one here. This is, so remember I was saying there was that same car crashed on another date. It was a big story. The dudes were going well over the speed limit, lost control and crashed. This was the other day, yeah, the 5th of September. This is actually in Back to the Future. This is when the clock starts running as well, which is quite interesting. And obviously the 9/5 stuff is just heavily encoded in pretty much everything. So this is the date of that crash through to Madonna's birthday again. Look at this now, 20474. You just can't. I mean, what the hell? And I've just been I've said in other videos about the 274 showing up so much. It's just absolutely mental. What we got here? 12/8/76. Okay, what was that date? That was the Silver Streak train film release date. Now look at this. Through to her potential death date, 177 87. So kind of similar to the 187 numerology, but of course, Sean Penn, the first husband now, is born. That's his birthday, the 17th of August. Okay, and they actually double down on that date. Oh no, I don't think they do. I can't remember. I think actually no, they maybe get married on Madonna's birthday. I can't remember which one it was though. Might be interesting to know that. Can't remember off the top of my head. Talked about it before, but just can't remember. But anyway, that is super interesting with the white wedding. Now, don't forget, DJ dies 11 days after his white wedding. You know, it's all about this wedding stuff, okay? And of course, we were just talking in the last video about funeral rites, and this little bit in funeral rites where she smashes the metaphysical tower, so to speak, you know, this black cigarette. She smashes that thing, and again, what happens? This is this is like a wedding ritual thing going on where they smash the glass, which is the temple. Yeah, this is the black tower, is the temple. Okay. Again, notice the ball and the 22. Notice the foot reference even with the footballer. Okay, and notice the circle around the 22. Yeah, the circle. Again, 6 and 9 are references to the spiral, to the complete, to a cycle. Okay, so this is very interesting with the circle. What's exchanged at a wedding is the rings. Yeah, with the 22. So this wedding reference with his 622 reference and the ball again. It's just absolutely mental. I'll show you something else with this 38. Let's keep that in the back of your mind with this 38 wedding reference here, because let's see if we've got it here. Here, from his wedding through to the actual white wedding day, which is 7/29, and I believe 2/9 coming up in September will also be another reference to this 2/9 wedding. Excuse me, blooming hell. This 2/9 wedding thing. Okay, belching now. 38 days on the bottom of that shoe again, on the bottom of the foot for the footballer. Okay. What was this one? So this was DJ's birthday through to that. 100487. Yeah, this is interesting on the surface of this number. Note he's 28 years old. Notice his wife is also, I don't know her birthday, but she was also 28 years old. Got the 26 in here as well. Click it or ticket. Check this out. 1283 doesn't mean anything to me, but the composite number is pretty interesting for sure. But because don't forget that we've got the 9/11 reference in here, and we've also got the 915 on the 1st of September this year. The United States will be 91,005 days old. Crazy, if you include end date. Anyway, click this one again. This is what's interesting. It drops down. It's a double prime, a PP, the 20th of August, 208 prime. Absolutely mental. And again, back with the silver streak and the PP on the back of the car there, and all those connections in with, oh dear, train spotting. Okay, we talked about this, the 22 white wedding date again through Blumenau, 11 days. Okay, Back to the Future is all about 9/11 as well. I mean, it's just absolutely loaded in there. That's just blank. What we got here? Oh, Blumenau, come on. Oh dear, let's hope this is not going to start deleting my... This is what it was doing before. I think I might just deleted something now. Look, let's get on this one, see if this will come up without losing it. I feel like it's going to lose it. Yeah, it started wiping out my... This is what it was doing before. So, I have some of these dates. I can actually just talk through a couple of them. You can't see the thumbnail, but that is his birthday through to the gal on Train Spotting. Remember her? Kelly MacDonald. okay, is the girl in Trainspotting. Now, they release Trainspotting on her 20th birthday, okay? Now, let's just click this and see if it will come up. Now, it's 290 days from... I'm trying to think. No, that isn't his birthday. That is the release of that film, Silver Streak. I'm pretty sure, through to her birthday, and it's 290 days, the 29 showing up. Yeah, I don't know why it suddenly started doing this again. This is super duper annoying. Anyway, this, the video's already getting long. Look, let's see if it does it with this one, with the 38, which is a repeat of what we've just looked at. Yeah, see? Deleting it out. Okay, anyway, so that 290 was interesting. I think there was a further reduction on that 290 as well. And unfortunately, now we're going to start losing all these blooming number jumps, I think. Let's click this end one. Oh no, it's staying in here now. I don't know why that is doing that. Hopefully, if I work back this way, maybe it won't do it. Anyway, this is... So that was some more ties back with Trainspotting. This is Tulsi Gabbard's birthday. This was the Cruella release date for the film Cruella. And notice it had the Donald Trump number jump. And in fact, Decoding with Cody actually mentioned a number jump like this. I think I don't know what date it was for. I don't think it was this one. It was something else. But it was a 14646 number jump that came up. And I had another one of these 14646 number jumps come up in another video. And I don't know if it was this one or something different or what. I can't remember anymore. What else we got here? Oh, what is interesting also is this connection with the Queen right now. I don't know why I had this one in here, but there was a number jump with Tulsi Gabbard, I think, and it was like is this next one on? Let's see if it stays. Yeah. No, this wasn't right. Forget this. We don't need to worry about this. But what is interesting is that the Queen would have been 99 years old this year. Okay, which I don't know. When we're talking about Madonna and the Queen dying, okay, I just thought it's interesting to know when the Queen, because of these numbers all matching up with the numerology, Desperately Seeking Susan, Diogo's birthday, Tulsi Gabbard's birthday, the numerology is all the same for the Queen. I just thought, when is the Queen, how old would she have been this year? Was she going to be 100? And 99's pretty good as well, because 99 is the reset point when you go on to 100. 100 is zero again, so to speak. Anyway, so I guess I was doing that one right. That should have been that. Oh dear. See, even when you do something wrong, even when I do something wrong, I click on and it's still something interesting. So I've got Tulsi Gabbard. I thought this was Tulsi Gabbard's birthday. No, I think she's born 81, not 80. But this 16446, this is just a switcheroo here, was coming out on the Queen's birthday this year, which is what we were just talking about, the 99. And I was just click on and put the actual right date in. Look, 16081. I don't know if I've done this number jump before again, but not. But look, it's Madonna's numbers in here. Unbelievable. Oh dear. Let's see if this one disappears. No, good. This is Back to the Future. This is when Marty finally makes that final leap back. This was Andre's birthday. On the surface, nothing interesting, but with the 702 Prime came up with that one, which is again interesting with the 27 date that's even in this. And then the crash happening right at this point as well, the DeLorean getting smashed up. This number jump. This is the release of Trainspotting the film through to the release of Back to the Future 3. Spot all the trains in it, yeah? Again, 2100 even days, yeah? Just crazy. Got the 274 numerology in here as well. 300 weeks, just interesting numbers. The 21, remember, without the end date included, Madonna's number jump with the 24476 is the 21st Lucas number, and 21 is the start of Lucas numbers. The restart of the cycle. Oh, good, this one stayed up. This is well interesting. This is Kelly MacDonald again, who is in Trainspot in the film, and they bring the film out on her 20th birthday. Again, look at this. The release of Back to the Future 3. 5,205 days. 525. 525. How can you get that to even match up? That's just insane, isn't it? Absolutely mental. So these connections back with the train, the connections back with the car crashes, yeah, you know, what are we talking about? Yeah, the car crashes and the train crash, the train wreck and the car crash, yeah. This is just mental, absolutely blooming mental. Did I show you this? I can't remember if I think I did show you this, didn't I? With the 259, with the Porsche 944. The 944, okay? Oh, just crazy stuff. I think we've done all of these number jumps. It's unfortunate that we lost a few of these. Like one of the number jumps that I wanted to show you was if I got it on my bit of paper here, I think it's worth just trying to, let me just have a quick look, because it's this, I don't know why it's doing this either. I don't know why it's doing this, just reverting back to a 0 here. Darn it. There was one that I wanted to show you because it was tying back in with one of these number jumps went to a 729. It was 729 days. And I can't remember. I don't think I've got it written down even, maybe. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Oh well, it is what it is. I think there was enough stuff in there anyway. But you can see that the white wedding is super important. Yeah, there was a number jump that was a 729, and I cannot find it on here now. So apologies for that. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. What was this one? Oh, that was okay. Well, some of the other stuff is fairly superficial anyway. I mean, it's just all little bits and pieces. Anyway, we've done the main stuff. I'm leaving it there for this video. You know, the silver streak, the crash, you know, the twins here, the twins with the bird, the phoenix on the shield there, the AG, the silver, the 47, the silver streak, the train crashing, this thing, look at it, look at the blue and the white, the Virgin Mary colours. I've got another video I'm going to do. I'll show you again. Ties back in with Hulk Hogan colours. This thing here is going to roll off of here. Richard Pryor's in the film. Gene Hackman's in, not Gene Hackman, Gene Wilder. So we've had a couple of Gene references actually with Gene Hackman. 88 Finiston Porus just did a Gene Hackman, a nuclear connection with him. And again, this thing's going to drive off out of here at the end of this. Yeah, this is the gold member. This is the golden phallic symbolism that is resurrected. Yeah, again back with Osiris and the gold member that's missing. Again, the gold pyramid in Desperately Seeking Susan. Yeah, this thing's going out of here. This is the physical resurrected. Okay, it's the sun. Right, done. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll bet that was longer than half an hour. Alright, I'll catch you on another one soon. Boy, I hope I didn't miss anything super duper important out of there. But yeah, this whole thing with the bull here as well, just crazy stuff. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.